Welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show with the morning crew, Tomlin and Mama Manny.
And your host, Jim Amato.
Good morning, Woodland, and welcome to January 27th. It is a Thursday, and exams are over. Yay! All right, it is an A day. It's the beginning of the next semester. I hope you have your new schedule because you show up for your semester one classes. Some of those will work out, but the elective ones probably won't. You're going to be lost. Freshmen, make sure you take a look at those schedules. We have a couple meetings going on now that the actual work week gets back underway, so pay attention. The debate club is going to be newly formed and started. The first meeting is February 23rd, so you do have some lead time on that. Looks like I'll be reading this slide for a good long time. So make sure if you're interested in arguing, you get in fights with your parents, it's probably a great team for you to join. Don't forget that their logo is "Don't hate it, just debate it," bringing us all together through candid conversation. Don't forget to sign up to take creative writing next year. If you don't know anything about that, we'll have Mr. Gary on, and feel free to ask him any questions. Stop him in the hallway, jump into his class. Maybe don't bother him right in the middle. Well, you know what? He'd answer a question if you want to take creative writing anyway, so feel free. Also, band and choir. If you got an instrument, and that just doesn't mean like a guitar, but also your voice, join band and choir. You can see Miss Yezi down in the fine arts wing, and she'll help you out with that. There's a National Honor Society meeting. It is today. If you are in National Honor Society, you are expected to attend in the Media Center after school today, right at 2:05. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be a little after 2:05, because if that bell rings, then you have some past time to get down there. But 2:05 after there, make sure you're there. And there's another meeting today, and that is Hawkwigs. All current members are expected to attend, and any new members who are interested in joining, show up into room 229 at 2:10. See, they posted it right. 2:10. That gives you 5 minutes to get there after school. So for the National Honor Society, don't leave your classroom early. Just, wait till the 2:05 bell and then show up. And as always, listen to us at 7:15 a.m.-ish. And if you're looking for any past episodes or merch, look at our morningmayhem.show website. Time now for the news. T-minus 60 with Tomlin.
Morning. A couple top stories today. First off, Democrats are eyeing a Supreme Court pick. It was announced yesterday that Justice Stephen Breyer will be stepping down later on this year, allowing President Biden his opportunity to place a member on the U.S. Supreme Court. He has pledged that it would be an African-American woman, and several names have already begun to circulate as potential selections.
All right.
U.S. offers no concessions in response to Russia and Ukraine. Russia continues another round of meetings yesterday. Russia between NATO, then Russia along with Germany and France. Russia continues to require that NATO never accept Ukraine and NATO withdraw from various nations as added on. NATO, the United States, Germany, France have all said no thus far.
And they're just saying that we're just parking some vehicles over here.
Yeah, they're still just hanging out there on the side.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
All right. Oscar Mayer is announcing that there are going to be a raise of prices this spring. Maker top food and consumer good brands plan to raise prices in the spring, dashing shoppers' hopes for a quick drop in grocery bills. So Kraft Heinz, they've announced in a letter to shareholders that dozens of products, including Oscar Mayer, cold cuts, hot dogs, sausages, bacon, Velveeta cheese, Maxwell House coffee, TGIF frozen chicken wings, Kool-Aid, and Capri Sun drinks are all the various items that will be seeing a rise in prices this spring.
Hey, listen, when the dollar store has to increase their prices to $1.25, you know there's going to be fallout. Here's some of the fallout from the dollar store pricing.
It happens.
Although yesterday we were just singing the Oscar Mayer song.
I know.
Because
we had hot dogs. It was awesome. All right. A brand new Roman Gladiator arena has been discovered in Switzerland. This is amazing. It is actually the youngest. They believe it's the last ever built Roman Gladiator arena. It was discovered in an old Roman quarry that they believe at the end of its life, it was converted into this Gladiator's arena. It's oval shaped, and they found coins dating from between 337 and 341 AD, making it probably the last arena ever constructed, which is
in Sweden.
Switzerland.
But
just in general, the last one ever built throughout the Roman Empire.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is a really, really amazing.
Well, those
discovery.
Romans had some reach.
They did. I mean, it went from, the modern day Portugal all the way to Persia, from the UK down to the Sahara. All right, and then the first reported case of stealth Omicron has been detected in Connecticut. This comes after the news yesterday that it had been in the West Coast. We have one case in Fairfield County. And there's your news.
Ah, it's getting closer. Excellent. And that's the news. T-60 with Tomlin. Oh,
Good morning. Our girls basketball team crushed Harding yesterday, 56-21.
that's how to get the job done.
They certainly did. Casey Mulligan had 18 points. The team improves to 9-4. They are home on Friday against St. Paul with a 6:45 start. Boys basketball team is away at St. Paul, 7 o'clock start. And our boys swim and dive team will be home Friday against Watertown for a 5:30 start. Good luck, all athletes.
So the postseason for basketball doesn't start till the end of February.
Correct.
So we still have some time.
Or
before
middle.
the-
Yeah.
So they'll play about 20
Couple more games.
20 games before
Yeah.
they have to choose that up. It's like they're in good position for
They
the
are.
postseason.
They
It's
are.
going to be close,
Yeah.
but that's good. We haven't heard about weightlifting or wrestling of late.
Not of late.
All right, and I know the girls cheer and dance. We have to find out about them, see what their competition season has been looking like this morning. Yes.
And on a serious note,
Yes.
we've lost a member of our Woodland family. Our thoughts and prayers are with Mrs. Carol Dietz, sons Eric and Pat. They lost their dad, Mr. Mike Dietz. He was very active. I know he went to all the sporting events, boys swim, soccer, tennis.
He was always on the sidelines while we were
Always on the
coaching
sidelines.
tennis. And we
Yep.
had Pat on the team.
Very supportive member of our family. We really appreciate all that he did for us, and we'll miss him dearly.
Indeed. And that is the sports with Mama Manning. This morning, our guest is Tom Simonetti, the new Fine Arts Department member and theater director. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hello, Woodland. Hello, Woodland. Anyways, how are you?
Not too bad. Maybe we should have you write our jingle for the opening show. We've been talking about coming up with a better intro. That might work out.
Nothing like when you have somebody coming down the stairs with feathers and everything else on while singing to a bunch of waiters of how happy they are to be back. Like, I'm sorry, you don't get better than that. That's just good writing.
No, you don't. And how's it been with the transition into Woodland?
It's been great. I was teaching third grade beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah, good times. Not different whatsoever. But it's been great. I do work at, sorry about that. I have all these alarms on. I do work at another high school. I was working for their after school program of doing drama at Massac High School. We're currently in rehearsals for their musical right now. And I just loved working with high school students. I mean, the little ones are fun, but I love working with high school students. And so far it's been so much fun. Everyone's been so awesome as well too, like from the staff, yourself, Jim, and Mr. Tomlin, and Mama Manning. I don't think I've met you too much yet, but it's been really great. Like, I've been very lucky, and everyone's been so embracing my brand of what I do. So it's been good. I think they have been. I don't know. Maybe.
No, I think they have been embracing it. And the more we get to know about you and your history and some of that background that you bring, it's pretty exciting. Tell some of the people you've met while you've been in theater.
What was that?
Who are some of the people that we would recognize that you've met or worked with?
I've met and worked with recent Tony winner Danny Burstein, Sutton Foster, who was on Younger. She's right now opposite Hugh Jackman doing the show, a little show called The Music Man that is running at about $100 per ticket just to be all the way in the back. Let's see. Beth Level, who's a big Broadway person. I've met, obviously, wonderful people such as Sam Waterston. He was one of the first, who's on Law and Order. He was one of the first people I worked with on stage at the Long Wharf Theater while I was graduating college. Like literally, I was running back and forth between Staten Island, where I went to Wagner College to major in performance, back to New Haven, Connecticut, like on a daily basis. It was crazy. And somehow I graduated at the same time, but it was great to be with him. And also his son was graduating at the same time. So was graduating NYU. So like we had a lot of, he was really sweet, took me under his arm. My dad is a very big fan of Law and Order. And I let my parents come to the opening night of that play, Travesties by Tom Stoppard. That was a really big person to meet too, Tom Stoppard, and talk with him about the play we were doing. And my dad would not stop walking around the party calling poor Mr. Waterston Jack, because his name is Jack McCoy on the show. He'd just be like, Jack, I gotta ask you a question. And I was like, I literally had to corner my dad and be like, knock it off. But no, so let's see, who else? Al Pacino, when he was doing a reading, Marissa Tomei, we all did a reading together. So I've watched a lot of people. I know a lot of people. I got to work for the Public Theater. Lin-Manuel Miranda is my big one. That's one that everyone knows from Hamilton. He lives next to me in New York, which is pretty cool. He lives up in Inwood, and used a lot of that area when he was writing one of his first big breakout hits, which was In the Heights. So he's a really great person. We were actually working together in the same coffee shop. He was writing and taking meetings for the Hamilton mixtapes while I was in the middle of starting the big project that took over my life called Valley Shakespeare Festival. That happens in Connecticut every summer, presenting, and also throughout the year, presenting free Shakespeare in the Park. And then we also tour during the spring when we're not in COVID times. And we also we also tour out to bars, homeless shelters, and senior centers, libraries, etc. So yeah.
Wow, you do like to keep busy.
Hey,
I do. I have to.
Mr. Simonetti, it's Mama Manning.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, I did meet you over the summer because I attended Pericles. You did a great job directing.
Here we go. I thought so. I'm sorry. I was like, Manny. So how did you love Pericles? Tell the people.
It was phenomenal.
What was great about it?
Yeah, you did a great job. It was a revised script, and it was very accessible for people who aren't Shakespearean scholars who just want to sit and watch an entertaining play.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll bring that to Woodland someday.
I am. I'm really excited for this next semester because I am doing I'm not only teaching the advanced acting courses, but I'm also teaching Shakespeare through performance. I keep calling it Shakespeare in performance. I don't know why.
I don't think we're going to hold you up on any of the prepositions you use. It's fine.
That's all right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hey,
I will be doing Shakespeare through performance. And I'm really excited to show these students that really Shakespeare is not highbrow. It was not made for the gentry. If you go to from what they've excavated from these theaters, they found that really the money came from the filling the pit, or as they called it, or where the groundlings stood. It was the poor, and they were right there in front of you. Like I've been on that stage in London, and like they literally are like at your ankles, like the audience, and you can't not notice them. So Shakespeare wrote for that. He wrote for them. He wrote the dirty jokes for them. He was all for it. The people who were in the stalls who paid more money, they were only there to either be seen, or they were there to be or they were there to make business deals. That was really it. They weren't there to pay attention to the play. And I find most of the people who could spend money on those expensive seats are the same people, tell you the truth.
Well, we're not going to have that many expensive seats when we have the one act play that goes wrong, but a lot of people will be able to come see it here. Tell us a little bit about the play you're putting on.
Yeah, which is so exciting. So this play actually is still running in New York, which is really funny. So the play itself is really the actor's nightmare of everything going wrong on stage, from people forgetting lines, jumping to other parts of the script that they're not supposed to be doing, for things coming off walls, all the things that like literally watching the show gives me anxiety because it brings up like past trauma on stage kind of a situation is what it does for most actors. The big thing that I've been telling about my students, so number one, it's a hard play because you really have to be in it. You don't have time to not focus or to be like, oh yeah, when I go off stage I can be, I could do whatever I need to do. You really can't. It's a small cast, number one, of 7 people, all comedians, and all having to be firing on all cylinders and making sure that there's safety, because there are some pratfalls and everything, and punches and slaps and hits and kicks and all that fun stuff that we think is funny. It's really the train. I say it's like a train. The train leaves the station. You got to be on that. You got to be on that train. You can't, if you for 1 second, miss it, you're going to be playing catch up the entire rest of the show. And I've been in those shows, those kind of shows too. So we've done a lot of ensemble building. We've done a lot of, talking about our, things that have gone wrong on the Woodland stages. And that made me scared. But we really are having a good time with it. It is a comedy. I know that's something that, we do need right now. So, and another thing I've been teaching the kids with the show, the students with the show, is that this was written by 3 people who literally were doing bartending jobs, being waiters, working retail. They all were working to be actors. They were not getting casted for whatever reason, or they were getting, these low paying things. And they made this one act as what they did, called The Play That Goes Wrong. And they tried it out, at one, in London, they have these great theaters that are above, that are part of bars and stuff like that. And they tried it out there, 45 minutes. It was hysterically funny. And it just kept getting picked up, and they expanded it to 2 acts. And then they expanded it into being this whole production company that kind of does they call it the Go Wrong show. And, they just make fun of these things where they could go wrong, whether it's a Downton Abbey episode gone wrong, or Peter Pan gone wrong, Christmas Carol gone wrong. And it's just, it uses these old tropes of, comedy, but they work no matter what. And they really tapped into that. So I said, these were 3 people who didn't stop, and they created their own work is what they did. And when you're not working, sometimes you gotta.
You got to be creative that way. Now, tell us when and where we can get some tickets, and we'll get everybody set up to come see the show.
Awesome. So February 11th and 12th at 7:00 p.m. You will be in the Woodland Auditorium. It will be transformed into the Pemberley Players Polytechnic Institute. The theater will be, and you can get your tickets. They're $15 a piece. You could get those tickets by going to showtix, the number 4, and then the letter U.com, and just looking us up there.
Well, we'll post that on our show with this feed as we put it out there. But I want to thank you for coming on this morning and giving us more information on what's going on in the theater. Thank you very much. And on behalf of Manny.
You're welcome, buddy.
And on behalf of the show, I'll remind you all, she's Mama Manning. He's Tomlin. I'm Amato. Good morning, Woodland.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Morning Mayhem podcast. Morning Mayhem is broadcast live from Woodland Regional High School in Beacon Falls, Connecticut, each and every school day. Follow us on Spotify, Anchor FM, or wherever you find your latest podcasts. And for more information on the show, upcoming guests, and past episodes, visit our show website, morningmayhem.show.